drive down the road and as I drive down the road.
Voted number 1, FM radio. It's The Good Life Show with John Robert Quinn. Tonight, Quinn welcomes Daniel Herbert and Timothy Morgan. Tonight's show is brought to you by Pest Control Center. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, Sacramento. How are you doing? I'm your host, John Robert Quinn, and tonight we have an incredible show. We got a couple of friends on the show, and one of them is wearing a neon green shirt.
They can't see it, Quinn. They can't see it.
Well, see, that's the whole point. They have to go onto the website, thegoodliferadioshow.com, and he's dressed like a garbage man. It's okay. All right.
I dare you. Check it out.
Check it out. All right, segment 1 is brought to you by Janie Arden. Janie would like to congratulate Alma and Mark on the purchase of their new home in Santa Rosa. Congratulations, Alma and Mark. Call Janie today if you're in the market to sell or purchase your next home. 707-567-3681. 707-567-3681. Now, let's get into it. We've got Daniel Herbert. How you doing, bud?
Hey, good, man. How are you?
Dan the man.
We'll keep it at Dan.
Damn, Daniel.
And I'm not wearing a bright green shirt.
Not wearing a
Not
green
wearing
shirt. No, you look good though, brother. You got the whole name tag, the big Remax, the whole thing.
I had to make sure they could see it on radio.
Oh, that's the way we do it. All right. So, who are you? What do you do? What brought you here?
Well, let's see. I'm a real estate agent. I work with Remax out of the Sacramento Midtown office. I have a beautiful wife, 4 kids, and just...
How long have you been doing real estate now?
A little over 3 years.
Okay, so you've got you got your feet wet. You've learned. You've gotten past the growing pain stage where you're trying to figure out, is this going to work out? And you're doing well for yourself. You're working with Brian Barnes, which is one of the top in the region.
Yeah.
It's funny because there's a big Brian Barnes sign right around the corner from my wife's folks' house. And every time I pass it, I kind of wave. Hey, Brian, I'll see you next month. But what got you into this business? I mean, was it something that was like a passion of yours since you were a kid? Is it kind of what got you into this?
You know, I wouldn't say it was a passion since I was a kid. I actually contemplated getting into the business about 15 years ago. I actually took all the classes and everything else. But at the time, I had a really solid corporate job. I was 21, 22 years old, just bought a house, and really was just focused on the stability of knowing a paycheck comes.
Okay.
A few years back, when the economy was taking a turn and I was taking a look at what do I really want to do, I just wasn't happy in the corporate world anymore. And what better place that I can help other people achieving their goals while I'm working on achieving mine. And
wow.
That's what I love about it.
Wow. All right. I've had 12, maybe 15 realtors on the show. Not one of them have said that. Beautiful. Beautifully said.
Thank you.
No, I'm serious. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, now, obviously you've got the passion. There's heart here. You have a why, right? You got your family. How old are your kids?
I have a 14-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old.
Dude, don't even look like you're old enough to have a 14-year-old.
No kidding. I feel it.
Wow. He looks like he's like 25, maybe 30, about 30.
You have 4 kids, Dan?
Yeah.
How many do you have?
I have 5 kids, and I'm just going, wow. How do we do this?
It's awesome, dude. I love it. I have no kids. You guys have plenty of kids. Just give you mine.
Well, you have no other motivation to succeed other than them, and that,
you know what I
that
find
just keeps everything going.
What I'm dealing with now is I'm getting older, and all of my friends and family and everybody all has kids. My wife and I were very career oriented, but I find myself, here I'm going to go to kind of a dark place. I find myself trying to figure out the meaning of life without having kids, and I don't really have a meaning. I mean, I do the show. I love the show. I love working with the clients, and I I love doing what we're doing. But it's like, okay, I get money so I can spend it, so I can get more money so I can spend it, and it's kind of like, what's the point? So I think that's where kids come in. Is it kind of gives you it gives you a reason. It gives you a why.
It gives you your big why.
It's beautiful.
A lot of
Absolutely
people start
beautiful.
businesses, and those become like their children for a while. So
That's what we've
Yeah.
done. You know, now the big, we'll get into that later, but business is growing a baby. We're having a Good Life show is building a baby. It's going to have a new show. All right. So what separates you from the competition? There's 6,000 realtors in Sacramento. Why would somebody call you, other than the fact that you work with the infamous, legendary Brian Barnes? But what separates you from everybody else?
You know, I think the biggest thing that I bring different to the table, and I went through this when I bought and sold my first houses back when, is, you know, I'm just going to give it to you straight. Not going to say, oh, I think we can do this just to get you to sign a contract or get you on board with me. I'm going to let you know the real deal. What can we sell your house for, or what realistically should we be buying a house for? And because of those 4 kids we talked about, I work hard for them. Basically, I work hard for you by default. So
That's, wow. You can't write this stuff, guys. You can't write this stuff. I draw these questions up. I come in trying to throw a curveball. He sends me a list of questions. I purposely ask for a list of questions, and then I word them differently so he's not ready. And then, so we have kind of the spontaneity on the show. And then you can't write just the value, the quality here. All right, so you really wanted to get into the first-time home buyer today. That's where your passion is, the first-time home buyer. Why are you so passionate about the first-time home buyer?
you know, there's something really cool with meeting someone who didn't think they could buy a house. And then 30 to 60 days later, I'm giving them keys to the new house. It's just really cool.
Are these young families, young professionals?
A lot of times young families, I've come across folks my age that didn't think they could buy. You know, they don't realize that there's help out there as far as...
Especially with rents going way, way up. I mean, what we're paying for rent, I could buy a house, but I wouldn't be 12 flights up.
You know, rents are skyrocketing, and what's happening is you're having a young family, they're making good money, but at the same time, they're supporting their family. You know, they're buying cereal, they're buying diapers, so putting 60 grand in the bank is not always an easy thing to do. And they just don't know that there's programs that can actually help them with that down payment to make it happen.
What do people typically need in terms of a down payment if they're thinking about purchasing?
Well,
and how much home are they able to purchase, essentially?
Well, you know, I've worked a down payment assistance deal with a home at around the $330 price range.
Okay, which is a nice house.
Very nice house, nice pool. 95821, I think, is where we ended up.
Thomas, okay.
And I believe their out of pocket was around $2,500.
are you a magician, Dan?
It's crazy, right?
Oh my goodness gracious!
You know, and we're talking people with, again, good jobs, good credit.
What is a good job? What is good credit? Okay, let's clarify this.
Okay, well, in this case here, we had credits in the upper 7s, lower 8s.
Okay, so they had phenomenal
you know,
credit. Got it.
You know, so down payment assistance isn't always about, you know, just helping people that are kind of trying to squeak by into buying a house. It's, you know, so anywhere above a 640,
Okay.
you know, we can get most of those programs to work with you.
Okay.
And again, the lender can get further into
Oh, yeah,
the actual
absolutely.
credit
And we're going to get
report,
into that
you know.
here. We're going to go to a commercial break real quick. Before we do that, what's your telephone number?
916-995-3678.
All right, we're going to go to commercial break. We're going to come right back with more from Dan Herbert in just a moment. I am blown
Thanks.
away.